The most common roll in the Backwater system is a skill roll. A skill roll refers to a D20 roll that uses a particular skill to achieve a task. The player rolls 1d20 and adds bonuses from proficiency levels and the characteristic modifier to make that skill roll. So for example, if a character is trying to sneak past an enemy, they'd make a sneak skill roll against an enemy's vigilance score. In the character sheet on the screen, the character has +0 from proficiency in the sneak skill. The characteristic modifier for sneak is athleticism, which is also +0. So the player should make 1d20 +0 proficiency plus 0 athleticism. When the player targets another character with certain skill rolls, their dice goal is set by one of their attribute goals. Deceive, Disguise, Persuade, and Threaten rolls are made against the target's intuition goals. Hide, Legerdemain, and Sneak are made against vigilance goals. Stunt rolls are made against build goals. And melee and ranged rolls, which are usually attacks, are made against reflex rolls. This character is trying to sneak past a Haint, so we're going to use the Haint's vigilance score, which is 13. So we'll roll our d20, and we get a 12. We add 0 from the sneak skills proficiency, and then we add 0 again from the characteristic modifier, athleticism. So the total for the roll is 12. We compare that to the Haint's vigilance score, which again is 13. Because we didn't roll above a 13, we failed to sneak past the Haint. If we had a best of 2 modifier for this roll, because, for example, we expended an adrenaline point or because the Haint was distracted, we could roll 2 dice instead of 1, and we would take the best roll. So let's roll a second dice. We rolled an 18 this time. We add the sneak proficiency, which is +0, and the athleticism modifier, which is +0, and the total for our roll is 18. This time we rolled above the Haint's vigilance score, so we would succeed. An attribute roll is different than a skill roll. Usually a character makes an attribute roll in reaction to an ability or an effect, like a conjurer's night bolt, or a trap, or a grenade. For an attribute roll, a player rolls 1d20 and adds their modifier from their designated attribute. All characters have 4 attributes: vigilance, reflex, build, and intuition. The character succeeds an attribute roll if the player rolls above the dice goal, and they fail if they roll equal to or below the dice goal. The Game Master determines the dice goal for the attribute if one has not been designated for the ability or effect. In this example, we'll try to avoid a Conjurer's Night Bolt attack, which requires us to make a reflex roll to dodge the blast. The dice goal for this reflex roll is 15. We roll our dice, and we get a 4. Then we add our reflex modifier, which is +1. Our total is 5, which isn't above a 15, so we fail to dodge the attack and will now take damage. Health rolls and resolve rolls are special types of rolls that become more difficult as characters take damage and duress. They simulate a character's injuries and fatigue, which decrease their ability to resist or ward off effects. If the player fails one of these rolls, they may acquire a condition or receive damage or duress. Haints, for example, have an overwhelming ability, which requires characters to make a resolve roll when they run into 3 or more Haints at once. If they fail the roll, they receive 2d6 duress. If they succeed, they take only half. Our current resolve is 12. So when we make our roll, we're looking to roll equal to or under 12. We roll our dice, and we receive a 19, which is over 12. As a result, we fail and receive the full amount of duress.